I felt to where chit chat a bit with you if you don't mind. Oh, where do I start? I think, and I know that when you have goals, you got to sacrifice certain things in life. You got to sacrifice time spent. You got to sacrifice certain things, but keeping a balance because you want to enjoy your life, enjoy it while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to neglect the things that you like while you're doing this, while you're trying to achieve this and that. You don't want to work, crash and burn. You want to work, balance it out, enjoy things, go to your favorite restaurant, have nice company that you can just be uplifted and uplift each other and then continue on your journey. Do you know what I'm saying? And the path of accomplishing certain things or achieving certain things in your life. And it's like, it hurts a little bit, but it's like, does it really hurt? It's sacrificial, but it's like, it's worth it. And when you know you have so much on your plate that you put on, not necessarily anyone else putting themselves on your plate, but that you put on based on your decisions and think that you could, when you realize that you can't, you just got to wipe that plate away and put what is necessary on the plate in order to achieve the perfect dish. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, if that's you, comment below. Let's talk about it, because it's like, it's either we stay with the full plate or we change the plate and we accept the changes. And as we're changing it, a lot of things are going to take place, things, and people are going to be affected and emotions are going to go and all that stuff. But I think once you make up your mind about something, you can handle the emotions along with the decisions, and you can handle the emotions along with how other people will feel, and you can accept that it's going to happen, go through the emotions and continue on that narrow path with the decisions to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish, with or without them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a hard decision, but it's like, it needs to be made. So for me, I have so much on my plate. I realized that I took on too much. I took on assignments that I didn't have to do. I took on other people's weight. It's like we carry, but then we carry too much. We carry other people's ish, so we think that we can fix. And you know what I'm saying? I also know that in that, because I used to do that all the time. I used to think I could fix people. Why? I was always with a lot of broken people, but I was broken myself. Why? I thought I needed to fix. That's not my job. I understand being with someone and seeing their goals and hearing their goals, and knowing that I can be with them while they achieve the goals while I'm achieving mine. When you're in a relationship, it's like, you need to know what you're doing. They need to know what they're doing, so you can see if you pair together, right? During the journey, not losing yourself. If you don't know what you're doing, he doesn't know what he's doing, then, it's an experience, but it might not last. I'm not sure. Like, you can grow from that. I'm not going to say anything I don't know. For me, I'm like, I'm not going to be in a relationship where I feel like I have to fix somebody. I want to encourage you and love on you and support you, but I cannot do it for you. And so that I learned even through my marriage, my past marriage, now divorced. Going forward, I'm just like, I'm not doing that again, not out of hostility and remorse and regret and hatred and frustration, but out of learning the correct way of being a woman in my lane, doing what I got to do, embracing someone to come into my life as we gel together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not taking on the responsibilities of others. It's not my job. Like, I'll support you, but it's not my job. I understand now that other people have their journeys that they need to go through, and their encounters, their experience, all that stuff. And if I'm a part of it, that's fine, but I want it to be a good experience. I don't want it to be where I'm God in their life and I'm fixing it. So I believe that, when you're in your lane and you know what you're doing, it's good to be with someone that's prepared somewhat in their own lane to come into yours, whether it's like they're starting all over and you're joining them, or they actually arrived and they're continuing and you're joining them. I don't believe it's meant for a man to come into a woman's life where a woman's supposed to do these things for them. That's that obligation and expectation. I'm just like, you met me like this, you watched me growing, I love you, I'm loving on you. You love me, you're loving on me, you got your goals and your expectations, and we're both going to achieve it as individuals, but doing it together. And we get there a little bit faster because we're supporting each other and encouraging each other. But yeah, no, man, if my plate's too full and I'm doing certain things I'm not supposed to be doing in regards to like what he's supposed to be doing, I'm like, no. And especially if they don't see that they're supposed to be doing that, I'm like, That's not my job. And I see that we're not supposed to be together. And yes, I'm talking about relational, because as women, sometimes we believe that obligation is part of our identity, or part of our position, and part of our place in the world. And I'm like, no, once you understand your purpose, you understand you're a woman, you understand, yes, you do need a man, yes, you will be married, but to be married to the person that is good for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Not because of the way society says, or the way that somebody else says, or the way that it was portrayed in your eyes growing up. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different purpose. Everyone has like different goals. And it's like, I know that we cannot really necessarily do it on our own unless God has gifted us to do that. But in having a partner, understanding your position and his position, and coming together and allowing God to be in it, it makes it easier but challenging, because you're growing in a good way. And if I'm doing certain things, I realize as I'm learning and I'm doing things that this person's supposed to be doing, I'm just like that. There's an imbalance here. And I'm not talking about the person I'm talking to. I'm talking about what I've learned in the past, right? That if I'm in my lane, I'm doing my things, and I'm like, I hear the Holy Spirit, or I hear, my spirit not to do certain things. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that, because I know in my obedience, God has already provided someone else to do that for that person, not necessarily me, because I'm not Superman and I'm certainly not Jesus. I am a follower of Christ, but I am not Jesus himself. So I want to be obedient in all things I have to do and need to do on this earth. And so it makes it more easier for me. So it's like when you understand that you have too many choices, and you exhausted your choices, and you made those choices, you can change your mind and correct it to make it better instead of sitting in it. You know what I'm saying? That's a question I want to ask you guys. When you make certain decisions, do you just stay in it, or do you correct it, accepting a loss or accepting whatever, to go back to the path that you've originated, or at least found your path and want to go that way, but have to make certain decisions to cut certain things and certain people? Comment below, because I know how it feels. I think that even for me, making up my mind about that, it brings me peace. So it makes it easier for me to make those decisions. And I'm just like, okay, if other people are affected, they'll thank me later. They may not understand it now, but they will thank me later. And I think it's very important to understand your purpose and your path. So it's linear, so that when your decisions are yes, yes, no, no, it's you're good about it. You feel good about it. Understanding that they may feel a certain way, but they'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? In love, they'll get over it. They'll understand like the ending goal, as long as you're in your lane doing your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, well, my plate is clean. Clean. And I'm putting the necessary stuff on my plate, because there's only so much I can handle and that I'm supposed to bear during this season in my life, like, period. Comment below if that's you, but you know what I'm saying? Just anyhow, see you in the next video.